Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Now we are going to start new chapter, optics. So in optics there are two chapters. One is ray optics, another one is wave optics. So initially we continue with ray optics. In ray optics, in our surroundings, if you observe carefully, nature has endowed the human eye with the sensitivity to detect electromagnetic waves within a small range of electromagnetic spectrum belonging to the region of the spectrum is called light. So here in our human eye, the part which is going to active here, which is going to participate in the situation, I mean what is that? When you are observing the nature, so that is retina. So mostly retina, right? See this, nature has endowed the human eye with the sensitivity to detect electromagnetic waves within a small range of electromagnetic spectrum, namely visible spectrum belonging to the region 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. You know very well, nano means 10 to the power of -9, which is called as light. So which is visible light, what we can see with our human eye, right? Next, it is mainly through light and the sense of vision that we know and interpret the world around us. It is very interesting to imagine, no? So without eye, what about our human body and what about the rest of the world except us? Similarly, with eye, what you are able to view. So that is the imagination we have to grasp into our mind. Okay, see here, it is mainly through light and the sense of vision, right? We have 5 senses. So sense of vision is the one of the important sense that we know and interpret the world around us. So that is what sun, stars, galaxies, right? Meteorites. So simply you can say that celestial bodies, right? Next, light travels with enormous speed and travels along a straight line. So here he is talking about light. Light travels with enormous speed and travels along a straight line. Next, the speed of light in vacuum is the highest speed attainable in nature. That is, right? That is, actually the value will be 2.99 something, but rounding off will give us 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay. Next, the light travels in straight line seems to contradict that light is an electromagnetic wave of wavelength belonging to the visible part of the spectrum, right? I will repeat once again. This is the important point because here we are going to talk about nature of light. The light travels in straight line seems to contradict that light is an electromagnetic wave of wavelength belonging to the visible part of the spectrum, that is 400 nanometers to the 700 nanometers. In this paragraph itself, I am saying that light travels in a straight line But here I am saying that light is an electromagnetic wave, right? So here the thing is whether it has particle nature or whether it has wave nature. That is the question here, right? The answer is when the wavelength of light, see here, the reason is that the wavelength of light is very small when compared to the size of the ordinary objects, right? So regarding the wavelength of light and size of the objects, we will decide the validity of either ray optics or wave optics. That is the important point here, right? Though these two chapters are the branch of optics, but here based on the wavelength of light and wavelength of the objects, what the light is going to come across. Okay, we will decide whether it is ray optics or wave optics. See here, in this bracket they mentioned the size order of few centimeters or larger. Next, light wave can be considered to travel from one point to another along a straight line joining them. The path is called ray of light, and a bundle of such rays consists a beam of light. Okay, see here, a bundle of such rays constitutes a beam of light. I will repeat once again. So here the important point we need to memorize. Light wave can be considered to travel from one point to another along a straight line joining them. The path is called ray of light, and a bundle of such rays constitutes a beam of light. So here he is saying that light travels along a straight line, and he is saying that what is ray of light, and he is also saying what is beam of light. Okay, from starting to here we are in a discussion about the nature of light, sense of vision, speed of light, and validity of ray optics when compared to the wave optics. Okay, right. Now we are going to enter reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Okay, even though the heading is like reflection of light by spherical mirrors, but first the discussion is about plane surface, and then we are going for spherical surface. Okay, right. First we have to understand what is reflection. The concept is very important. We have to understand what is reflection. Okay, yourself you can imagine what is human eye. Okay, so how we are able to see the object, right? Here itself I need to say one important point. Light is a form of energy. I can also say that light is an invisible form of energy. Light is an invisible form of energy. Okay, right. So you know one thing, do you know one thing? We are able to see all the objects which are present in our house or in our classroom because of reflection of light. So reflection is the important property. Reflection is one of the important property for light. Suppose if there is no reflection, how can we see the object? Whether it is ball, whether it is book, whether it is bottle, that is difficult. Okay, right. So here we are talking about one of the important property of light, that is reflection. Okay, you can see this picture ma. First I will explain you the picture. So it is the plane of incidence. See the light, red light. It is the plane of incidence on which light ray is going to incident. So it is the incident ray, it is the reflected ray, this is the normal. So you see exactly the red light, it is the point of incidence. So point of incidence is the point where the light ray is going to incident. Okay, it is the plane of incident. Next, it is incident ray, it is reflected ray, it is incident ray, it is reflected ray. Okay, it is angle of incidence, it is angle of incidence, it is angle of reflection. angle of reflection. It is glancing angle of reflection. It is glancing angle of reflection. Sorry, it is glancing angle of incidence. It is glancing angle of reflection. Glancing angle of reflection. Okay, right. Just now I explained you this picture. So what is what? Okay. Still now we didn't discuss what is reflection. What is reflection? Okay, right. The phenomenon in which a light bouncing back into the same medium after incident at a point on the plane of incidence. On the plane of incidence. So by seeing this information, what I am saying, and by seeing this picture, you can understand what is reflection. Okay, I already told you light is an invisible form of energy. See here. So this is the incident ray, right? So the incident ray, it is the incident light ray. So which is coming? So the angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called as angle of incidence. That is I. That is I, which is going to incident at the point of incidence, right? Next, this is the reflected ray. Observe carefully. It is one medium. It is one medium. You may ask one question: what is medium? Right? So substance which allows energy to propagate through it. Medium is a substance which allows energy to propagate through it. Is simply said to be medium. Okay, it may be either solid medium or liquid medium or gaseous medium. We all are living in a thick blanket of air. Obviously it is gaseous medium. So here a light ray is coming to incident at the point of incidence. So from here onwards, observe carefully, the light ray is going back into the same medium. So which is bouncing back into the same medium. This phenomena, it is a natural phenomena. It's not our creation. It is a natural phenomena. We are studying the natural phenomena. So this natural phenomena is said to be reflection. Okay, right. Now itself, I already explained you the terminology. What is I? What is R? What is IR? What is IG? Right? And what is point of incidence? And what is plane of incidence? That and all I'll explain you. Now I am going to discuss laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. See here. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Next, incident ray, normal and reflected ray. Incident ray, normal and reflected ray must lie in the same plane. Must lie in the same plane. Okay. So here it is the incident ray. It is the normal, right? Geometrically, which makes 90 degrees with the plane of incidence. So normal makes 90 degrees with the plane of incident. So normal is a reference line here to measure the angle of incidence as well as angle of reflection as well as glancing angle of incidence and glancing angle of reflection also. Okay, right. See here. So incident ray, normal and reflected ray. Incident ray, normal and reflected ray must lie in the same plane. It is the second law of reflection. It is the first law of reflection, that is angle of I is equal to angle of R. Then it is the second law of reflection, that is incident ray, normal and reflected ray must lie in the same plane. Okay. So these laws of reflection, not only you have to feel like a definition or statement, we have to imagine. So you just imagine here at which angle the incident ray is going to incident. At the point of incidence on plane of incidence, with the same angle the light ray is going to reflect. Suppose if I is equal to 30 degrees, R is also equal to 30 degrees. Next, if you go for second law of reflection, incident ray, normal and reflected ray must lie in the same plane. Okay, here observe carefully, this board is in one plane ma. This board is in one plane, right? So if you take another one, it is some other plane. So you can imagine perpendicular to the board also, right? So now in this picture, incident ray is in the board of the plane. Similarly, according to the second law of reflection, the reflected ray also must be in the same plane and normal also must be in the same plane. That is the information given by second law of reflection. Second law of reflection. Okay, right. Next, in case of curved surfaces, right? So I already told you the heading is reflection of light by spherical mirrors, but we also need to understand this is what the plane of incidence, right? It is that what for example like plane mirror. It is like plane mirror, right? So now we are going to see curved surfaces. In case of curved surfaces, normal to be taken as the normal to the tangent drawn at a point, that is normal is along the radius. Normal is along the radius, the line joining the center of curvature of the mirror to the point of incidence, right? So here I am not saying anything new. What I already told you here, right? That is what normal. Here also I am talking about normal only, right? But it is plane surface. It is the plane surfaces, right? So here it is a plane reflected surface, but it is curved reflected surface. Curved reflected surface. Okay, right. See this. In case of curved surfaces, normal to be taken. For example, see this light, no? I am showing. Suppose here, 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 anywhere. If you want to find out the normal, first you have to draw. Suppose at this point you want to find the normal, right? So at this point, first you want to draw. You need to draw the tangent. Then you have to draw the normal to the tangent. That is the normal at this point to this curved surface. To this curved surface. That is the only thing I want to say here, right? Next, he is also saying the line joining the center of curvature of the mirror to the point of incident. We can also say that the line joining the center of mirror to the point of incidence. Suppose for example, here one light ray is going to incident like this. Suppose here we have center of curvature. What is meant by center of curvature? What is meant by center of curvature? Because here I am using the word center of curvature, no? Then immediately the question is, what is center of curvature? Right, very good. See here. See here, I'll explain you first what is center of curvature. Okay, right, see this. This is a spherical surface, no? If you extend this spherical surface, what will happen? One sphere will come, no? If you extend this spherical surface, you may get one imaginary sphere, right? So for this imaginary sphere, there is some center. There is some center. Okay. So here, if you observe carefully, right? If you observe carefully, right? There is an imaginary sphere, no? So if you observe carefully, for this imaginary sphere, there is some center. There is some center. That is called as center of curvature. Center of curvature. Now I will tell you like definition wise, you please be remember. Center of an imaginary sphere. Center of an imaginary sphere in which mirror is a pot, in which curved surface is a pot, right? So center of curvature is a center. Center of curvature is a center of an imaginary sphere in which mirror is a pot. In which mirror is a pot. That is called as center of curvature. So center of curvature is a point. Center of curvature is a point. So I am going back here. The line joining the center of curvature. For example, if you take this curved surface, so the center of curvature may be here. Suppose this is the point where the light ray is going to incident. Then if you draw a line from center of curvature to this, right? Center of curvature to the mirror, which is like a normal, which is normal to this curved surface at this point. If you change the point of incidence, the position of the normal will be changed. Suppose at this point, if you want to find out the normal, then it is the normal. It is the normal. Okay, right. So what I am saying is here, the line joining the center of curvature of the mirror to the point of incidence is a normal. Next, pole is a geometric center of spherical mirror Pole is a geometric center of spherical mirror, right? So it is a spherical mirror now. It is the spherical mirror, right? So the geometrical center of a mirror is simply called as pole. Whereas in case of spherical lens, the same is called as optical center, right? So that will be our next topic. That is, we are going to discuss in our coming classes. But in case of spherical lens, the same is called as optic center. But here, in case of mirror, in case of spherical surface, in case of spherical mirror, the geometric center is called as pole. Next, the line joining the pole and the center of curvature. The line joining the pole and the center of curvature of the spherical mirror is known as principal axis. See here, I already told you this may be the center of curvature and it is the pole. So if you join this line, which is called as principal axis, okay, right. Next, in case of spherical lenses, the principal axis is the line joining the optical center with its principal focus. So he is comparing the spherical mirror to the spherical lenses. In case of spherical lenses, the principal axis is the line joining the optical center with its principal focus. Okay, right. So these 2 points, here 1 point and here 1 point, here comparing the spherical mirror to the spherical lens. So the spherical lens topic will come in our coming classes. Okay, right. So here itself, regarding the spherical mirror, we discussed what is center of curvature, what is pole, and what is normal, and what is the principal axis. Now I will tell you 2 more definitions. Another one is radius of curvature, right? Suppose, for example, if this is the center of curvature and it is the pole, the distance of a center of curvature from pole, is said to be radius of curvature, is radius of curvature. So radius of curvature is the distance from pole to the center of curvature. Okay, right. Next, what is object distance? For example, if this is the object, right? If this is the object, the distance of object from pole is said to be object distance. For example, this is the image. Distance of the image from pole is called image distance. Then next thing is important quantity, focal length. You may ask, what is focal length? Right? So obviously, when the rays are going to meet after completion of reflection, right, the point where the reflected rays will meet, there the image will be formed, right? So simply you can say that it is a focus. Right? So focus is a point. To say in general, focus is a point where all reflected rays will meet actually or apparently. Focus is a point where all reflected rays will meet actually or apparently. Next thing is the distance of focus from pole. The distance of focus from pole is said to be focal length. So focal length is the distance of focus from pole, right? So it is generally length, no? So the units are meter, centimeter, like that. Okay. Next, now we are going to see the sign convention, which is very important for us while solving the problems related to ray optics. Okay, right. So this is the example. It is what spherical mirror, a spherical surface, right? It is the principal axis. Suppose if it is the object, it is the image, right? Next, here the center of curvature may be. So this is the radius of curvature. Suppose the focus is here, means it is the focus, right? This is the focal length. It is also called as focal plane. It is also called as focal plane, right? So that is the board plane, the plane in which board exists, the board is present, that is focal plane here. Okay, right. See the sign convention, which is very important for us. So here we are in a discussion about Cartesian sign convention. Cartesian sign convention. Okay, right. First, this is the direction of the incident ray, because the object is here now. So the rays which are going from here to the curved surface. So this is the direction of incident ray. If this is the direction of incident ray, you know very well, it is like positive x-axis now. It is like positive x-axis. So this distance, this direction of incident ray is taken as positive. So when it is positive, automatically, you know very well, whatever the distances we are measuring in this direction, whatever the distances you are measuring in this direction, taken as positive. Similarly, I mean, in that manner, the opposite, for example, see here, distances against incident light, taken as negative. Distances in the direction of incident light taken as positive, distances against incident light taken as negative. Okay, right. Similarly, if you go for object, right, height upward is taken as positive and height downward, right, height upward taken as positive and height downward is taken as negative. So generally object, suppose if it is the object, it is positive, it is the image, for example, whatever it may be. So we are not sure about object and image. Suppose if it is like this, that is what, vertically upward, like, okay, like vertically upward. So height upward is positive and height downward is negative. Okay, that is right. So this is the information regarding the sign convention. Okay, and here itself I need to say one important point which helps a lot while solving the problems. Okay, right. So all the distances should be measured from pole onwards. That is the very important point, because here we are measuring focal length, we are measuring radius of curvature, we are measuring object distance, we are measuring image distance, right? So whatever it may be, all the distances should be measured from pole onwards. If it is in the direction of incident light, positive. If it is opposite to the direction of incident light, negative. If it is upward, it is positive. Then if it is downward, means it is negative. Okay, so this is about sign convention. Okay, so in this class we discussed about the introduction of optics, similarly introduction to the ray optics. So which is the difference between ray optics and wave optics. Afterwards we went to discuss reflection, then loss of reflection, then reflection in case of plane surface, reflection in case of spherical surface, and finally some terminology along with sign convention. Okay, right. We will continue in the next class.